All right, so today I'm going to cover draw tools and modify tools. So here under this home tab, we have this draw panel and this modify panel. All the tools are most of the mostly used tools are listed over here, and some tools are listed under this drop down arrow. So if you are working with these tools more frequently, so then you can pin this. Okay, so then you got these tools very handy and quickly you can access it. And when you unpin and you release your mouse from there, so it will be like the normal. So same like that, you can unpin these tool list here. This pin option is there, so you can pin it and unpin it. Okay, so let's see about line. So here in AutoCAD we create line. Okay, so with this line we create line segments. So line segments has a finite length. When we talk about line, so that means we have infinite, but when we talk about line segments, that has finite length. So to create a line segment, we require minimum number of points, that is 2. We require minimum number of points 2 to create line segments, and all the line segments are individual object. Okay, so let me show you with this line icon. So the command is L. You can activate this line with the command also, that is L, enter. Okay, so for that I have activated with this icon, and then I will start creating my line here. So if I go with this mouse pointer and click there, so it will taken as the first point of the segment, and the next point I can specify by my mouse pointer, and the distance from the first point will define the length of the segment. Okay, so now I clicked left click, and with this 2 point I specified one line segment, and it will continue from the last segment. This next line segment, it will continue from the last point. The next segment first point will be the previous segment's last endpoint. It will be continued from there, and then you can specify the next point for this segment. And now you see this line segment is an individual object, and this line segment is an individual object. So this way we create our line segments. Okay, and generally how we create our objects here, how we draw. So for that we have this UCS icon, and UCS right now is set. UCS is user coordinate system, and this user coordinate system is currently set, or you can say align with WCS. So that's why this WCS is shown there. So when it is aligned with WCS, so it will be shown here. Okay, and you can also identify when this UCS icon at this origin you got this little box. That means also this UCS is right now aligned with WCS. Okay, so WCS means World Coordinate System. What is World Coordinate System? So this, according to this system, we have a fixed origin point and fixed direction of X and Y and Z. Okay, and all the angular direction, that everything is fixed. We cannot change it. Okay, like we cannot change the east direction in the world. We cannot change that. So same like that, all the directions are fixed and all the axis directions are fixed. So that's how UCS is also aligned with WCS. Okay, and what is the default coordinate system for AutoCAD? That is UCS. Okay, so generally we align our UCS with WCS, so to get the result according to WCS. Okay, but the default coordinate system is UCS. All right, so this little box at this origin, that means UCS is aligned with WCS, and here it is shown also. So right now I select this UCS, and if I change the position or even the alignment of this, if I change it, so it will not be shown here. WCS, it will not be shown there. It will be shown as unnamed. Okay, means you are currently according to your uh, alignment. So then this little box will not be shown there also. So suppose if I click over there and if I move the position, and after that you will not get that little box. See, that little box is not present right now. So that means, and here you see also unnamed. That means you are currently with different UCS, and that UCS according to your settings. Okay, your alignment is there. So you can do that. You can bring that back again. So for that, select this UCS and place your mouse pointer there, and here you see world, and that will be aligned according to the world coordinate system again, and here you see WCS is showing. Okay, so you can select it and you can change the X direction also. You can change it, the X direction. So according to that it will work. Okay, so for that let me show you that right now this is your UCS aligned with WCS, right? So now if I go with line L enter, if I activate with command, and then if I specify coordinates, so for that I will specify Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so here you see this with this mouse crosshair. Okay, this crosshair, I'm getting a small window where I'm getting all these values. So for that we can make the dynamic input option on or off. So if I don't need this, so I will off the dynamic input option with F12 keyboard key, F12. Okay, so now I'm off with dynamic input option. So I will only put the value over this command line window. And what will be the first point? So I'll specify Cartesian coordinate system 0, 0, and here you see I'm getting at this origin, right? Correct. And then let me specify another like 500, 0, enter. Okay, and then 500, 500, enter. Okay, and I'll press enter or escape from the line command. All right, so here you see that I'm getting this result according to this UCS. Okay, now if I change this UCS alignment, if I change the position of our origin and then the X direction, so according to that Y direction will be changed because these axes will be perpendicular with each other. So now if I go with this line again, L enter, and if I put the same input, the first point is 0, 0, enter, and you see at this UCS origin I'm getting my first point of this line segment, and again the 500, 0, enter. So according to this UCS X positive direction I'm getting this segment, right? And again 500, 500, 500, right? So according to that Y I'm getting this line, correct? Now 0, 500, enter, and now you can close it. So it will close from the last end to the first end where you have started. To close with one segment. Okay, so this way you can do. Suppose you right now in you are according to this UCS, but being in this UCS you want to draw your lines according to the WCS. So how you can do that also? So for that what you can do, Suppose let me delete this. Let me delete it, and I'll go with line L enter, and I will specify the same value, but for here I will work with WCS, right? So for that I will add one prefix with those coordinate values. So that prefix will be star 0, 0, enter, and you see I'm getting the first point over there. That is the fixed coordinate, means fixed origin point according to WCS. That is the fix. I cannot change anything. And as because it is fixed, I don't need any icon to represent it. You know that I don't have any flag mark to show that is this is the east direction. Whenever I will place the compass, it will show that this is the east direction or the north direction, like that. So when I'll put the right coordinate, so it will be there. So then next coordinate value with star mark, star, and 500 comma 0, enter, and here you see, right, star 500 comma 500, enter, star 0 comma 500. So this Cartesian coordinate, it will be always calculated from the origin, right? So if you are providing without this star, so it will calculate from the UCS origin, and if you are providing with this star, so it will be calculated from WCS origin, that is the fixed origin, correct? So until and unless you move the UCS icon, so that will be also fixed like that. So the value is star 0 comma 500, enter, and the next value you can provide, or else you can close it. So let me provide the value star 0 comma 0, enter. All right, I'll press escape. So this way you can work with. All right. So now this is about your UCS and WCS and about the Cartesian coordinate. Okay. Now we also have absolute coordinate, or you can say not absolute, relative coordinate. Okay, so relative means it will be calculated from the last point. Okay, it will be calculated from the last point, not from the origin. Okay, wherever you are in UCS or in WCS, in this system, it will be calculated only from the last point. Okay, so let me show you the example with this line option, or I can show you this rectangle option. Okay, so how we draw the rectangle? So here this will be one single object with four segment, and we will specify just two corner point, the first corner point and the next will be the opposite corner point from the first corner point. Okay, so let's specify the first corner point. So for that, what I can do is I can specify like anywhere I can specify. So suppose this is the first corner point. Okay, and next what I want to specify next corner point according to my length and width provided. Okay, so how we can do that? Suppose length is provided 500 and width is provided 250. So the length will always be in the X direction and width always be in Y direction. Okay, that's the thing you have to remember. So what I will provide at the rate. At the rate means it will be calculated from this point. The next point coordinate value will be calculated from this point, that is the last point from that upcoming point. So at the rate, what is the X value? That is the length. So 500 comma in the positive direction, that is 250. So all the things are in the positive direction. So at the rate 500 and comma 250. And if you press enter. So according to the UCS, you will get your rectangle. Okay, go with this polyline. So what polyline and the line has the difference? So polyline create with single object. It connects all the segments as a single object, and you can create line and arc as a continuous segment and as a single object, and you can also provide like thickness you can provide to the lines. So go with this polyline, or else you can activate with command, that is PL enter, and you specify the start point, and then you can specify next segment like the line you specify. So you can specify, and if you have the dynamic input on option, then you can specify the direction. And if you need to create straight line, so for that you can hold shift for temporary straight, and if you release your shift key, and again you can create line in any angle. And if you activate this ortho mode with this icon or F8 keyboard key, so you will, whenever this ortho mode is on, all the time you will get only the straight lines. So what happen when this ortho mode is on? So it restrict the mouse cursor to 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 and 270 degree. In these four direction you will get the line. So that's why we get straight line when ortho mode is on. Okay, and suppose you need sometimes in angle and sometimes in straight line. So for that you can hold with shift key and you will get the straight line. Okay, so you can hold the shift key, and then you can provide with click. And if you need to provide with value, then I will suggest you to go with this ortho mode on. Okay, so then you specify the length like 250, you specify the length, and after that, after specifying this length, you can create with arc. So you can create with this arc, and we have some option to provide like angle you can specify. For accurate angle you can specify like 135, enter, and then you specify the next angle, the next end point of that. Okay, so it will always be 135, whether this much of length, whether this much of length. Okay, and next you want back your line. So for that we have this option line, or L enter, and you will get back the line again. Okay, and this is the total as a single object. Wherever you click, it will be selected as a single object. All this segment is connected as a single object. So that is the benefit of polyline. And suppose with this polyline you can create some width also you can provide. So you specify the first point, and after that you can provide with width. So let me provide one segment without this width, and next I can provide width or half width. So half width you provide the half width, and the total width will be counted double. You can take width. Okay, starting with what will be the starting width, so you can provide like that will be 50 you can provide. And what will be the ending width? So ending width you can provide 0 to create an arrowhead. This kind of shape you can create with polyline. Okay, so this is now as a single object. Okay, and within few clicks you have created. Otherwise you had to create with normal lines and then join them and then hatch them to fill this area. So that is not the right option to do, to create this arrow or arrowhead for your drawings. So that you can create with polylines. Okay,
Can you repeat this?
yes. Okay, so go with this polyline option and specify the first point, and after that you can specify width. Okay, so for this if I need width, so I can specify width or I can click on this width option and then specify the value, or else I can press W and enter. So I have already shown this width option, so I'll go with this half width. So I can press H, enter, or click on that. So it will be the starting half width. So here I will specify like 5 will be the half width. So total width will be 10. Press enter. So that is the starting half width, and what will be the ending half width? So that will be same for me. So this is, and wherever you will end this segment, up to that it will maintain the same width. Okay, from this starting to the end. So next you can specify with the length, like 150 is the length, and for next segment also you can change the width as well. So for that, let's give it a width the same, like 50. Specify the starting with 50, and what will be the ending with, as because the arrowhead is pointed, so ending with will be 0 and enter, and then you specify the length. Okay, so from this starting to the end, so you specify, so let's specify 100, enter, and escape. So this is right now your one single object. Okay, now if you want to rotate it, suppose this is your north direction arrow, and if you want to rotate it according to the angle, so you can rotate with this modify. In this modify panel we have this rotate option, and you can rotate this. So for that, you select the object first and you can go with this rotate, or else you can first select this rotate option, or you can select with this, either with this icon, or else you can activate with the command RO, enter. And then if you are selecting, if you are activating the command first, then you can go with the select object and press enter, or else if you are selecting the object first, okay, if you are selecting the object first, then you are activating the command, then you don't have to select the object again. So the next option will be specify the base point. So what will be the base point? So you will specify according to the, around the base point it will rotate. So then you specify the rotation angle. Okay, so you specify the rotation angle like 35. So I'm giving the positive value. So which will be the direction? It will always taken as the default direction, that is counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. That is, so this is the anti-clockwise direction. So from the initial position, it will rotate 35° in the clockwise, anti-clockwise direction. So 35 and press enter. So here you see. Okay, now suppose you want to align your UCS with this. Okay, so for that you go with this, you can go with this move and align option. Okay, go, so suppose this is the origin, and you can align according to this point. Okay, so Y will be aligned with this. Here you see, and you can work. Okay, so that will be like your project north. You can say, you can again, if you bring it back to, so you can get according to the your true north, you can create your drawings. All right, so let's make it with world coordinate system again. All right, so next we have circle. How we can create circle? To create circle, we have 6 different methods. We have 6 different methods to create circles. So for that, these 6 different methods are categorized into 3 different categories. So first category is center, then second is point, and then third option is tangent based. Okay, tangent. So first you see center radius and center diameter, here 2 point and 3 point, tangent radius, and tan. Okay, so these two are very simple. You specify the center, whatever the point you are specifying, that will be taken as a center point. So the point taken as a center, and then you specify the radius like this. So the value will be taken as a radius. Okay, and you can check all the properties of this object with control 1, that is properties palette. You select this object and you press control 1, this properties palette will be popped up, and here you can see this is the diameter value, this is the radius, what is the center x position, y position. Okay, and all this color layer, these properties. So these properties you can get it from the properties palette of this object, and you can specify with the center diameter option. So we have this object snap option on. Okay, so F3 is the control key to on or off object snap. F3 is the shortcut key, and if you place your mouse over the circumference of the circle, this center point will be highlighted, and you can select on the center point, so you are getting that object snap. So according with the object snap, you can place your objects at the precise point on the precise points. So this is the center, and then you will specify the value that will be taken as a diameter, because I have selected the center diameter method, right? So then I'll specify the same diameter value, same as a diameter value, that is 1000, and press enter. Okay, now let me show you about the 2-point. So 2-point is the method where you specify the two endpoints of your circle. So these two endpoint you specify. So go with this 2-point. Suppose this is the first endpoint. So here you are getting a diamond shape snap point. So that is the diameter endpoint symbol. Okay, that is called quadrant. So quadrant snap point is highlighted, and click over there, and there you click it. Okay, so this way with this 2-point. So what are those 2 points? Those 2 points are the diameter endpoints of that circle. Okay, and you are specifying like that. Okay, and you can specify with 3 points as well. So 3 points, when you have some 3 points and you can specify with that. So like if you have this kind of, and here you want to specify your circle, so like 3-point is there. So at the midpoint of this line, and the second point will be at the midpoint of this line, and third point will be at the midpoint of this line, and you can place your circle this way. So you have to define which option you are going to select. So according to the drawing, you can have the idea to which option will give you the perfect result, accurate result. And then we have tangent radius, means we will select two object as a tangent, and we will specify the right radius value. Okay, so for that, let me select this circle as a tangent and this line as a tangent, and then I will specify the radius of the circle. So let me specify like 75 as the radius, and here you see with this 75 radius, that can be positioned here only. Okay, making this circle as a tangent and making this line as a tangent. This way we place our circle with tangent radius, and tangent is like very simple. We make it tangent with that, and tangent with this circle. So here you see where we can see this circle with this circle is currently tangent, and with this, but it is right now not. If you extend this this line, if you stretch with this grip point, when you select this line, you see these are the grip points of this line. So every different object has different grip points. So here you see, if you select a circle, so you will get grip points. This is the center grip point. You'll get different grip points. So with this lines, select this with this grip point. If you stretch it, go for this stretch, or if you what is the difference between the stretch and lengthen? Stretch, with the stretch also you increase or decrease the length, and with lengthen also you decrease or increase the length. But with the stretch option, there is no particular direction. You can increase or decrease the length in any direction. But with lengthen, you will only increase or decrease in the linear direction of that line. Okay, this is the linear direction of this line. So if you need to increase or decrease in that linear direction, so for that you will choose lengthen. So you get the precision. So choose lengthen, and then you see if I increase that line is actually tangent with this. So this way we have created this tan option. Okay. And we also have this arc options are available. These arc options are available. So these arc options are very easy to create. See, this 3-point is available. So this 3-point, you just specify the points and it will be created. Okay. So next, start, center, end. So these are very simple to create, like first point, second point, and then third point. See, and then start, center, end. Okay, so to create with start and then center and then end. So like suppose if you are creating a any door plan symbol. Okay, so for that let me create the frame that is 500. Okay, suppose, and let me make another duplicate. So for that I can copy it, I'll select it, press enter, and this is the base point for the copy, and in this direction I'll give the value that will be 1200 and press enter. Okay, now I'll create another line over there. So that will be 1200, enter. Okay, and if you want to decrease this line, so you can decrease with this, go to lengthen, and over there suppose 450 if I provide, so that will be decreased up to that. So same like that I will do with this grip points. I will place the grip point and I will place my crosshair on the grip points only. I will not click. Then this stretch and lengthen will be popped up. I will select this lengthen. I'll click on the lengthen option, and I will provide my crosshair this direction, and there I will provide 450. Okay. And now I will place with this start, center, end. So which one will be the start point? So this will be the start point, this will be the center, right, and this will be the end. So you specify, and this way you can create your arc. Okay, and start, center, angle. So this is the start point, you know, this is the center point, and what is the angle? So that is 45 sorry 90 degree is the angle. So here you see 90 is the angle, and press. Okay, let me do it once again. So this is the start point. So I have selected this start, center, angle. So this is the start, this is the center, and then you specify the angle, that will be 90, right? So 90, enter. Here you got that. So this way you can create. So the different methods can create with different. Okay, so if you know the length value, what is the length from this point to this point, what is the length? So for that you can check with pi. This is the point and this is the point, so this is the value. Okay, so if you press F2 you will get this. So if F2 for command history window or your AutoCAD text window, you can say F2, and from here you can copy this, select and Control C, you can copy this and you choose start center length. So this is the start point, you know, this will be the center, and then you provide the length, right? You provide with the length. Okay, so here you provide the length value and you press enter. Okay, so sorry, again go with this start point, then this is the center, and then you provide the length. Okay, and press enter. Okay, so with the length you can also provide and you can also create. It's the same, this start center length. So you place the start point, you specify the center, and then you specify the length. So here you paste it and press enter. Okay, that is done. And then again you can go with this start and angle. So which one is the start point? So this is the start point and this will be the end point, and what will be the angle? You know that is 90 degree. All right, here you can go with this direction. So you specify the start, end, and what is the direction? This is the start point, this is the end point, and each and every angle has the direction. So from the start point, it will take the tangent, and in that direction it will create. Okay, so 90 degree, and making the arc as a tangent to that direction, with that direction it will create. So 90 degree, and you specify. Okay, same with the start and radius. So you know this is the length, I have provided 1200. So start and radius, so this is the start point, this is the end point, and radius 1200. Okay, you can go with center, start, end. So which one will be the center? This is the center, and then the start, then the end. Okay, so here you got that. Again the same, here you got start center angle, and here you are specifying the center first, then the start, then the angle. And the same thing like start center length, here you specify in the center first, then start, then length. Okay, the same thing you can create. All right, next we have seen this rectangle option. Next we will see polygon. Okay, so how we can create polygon? So here the minimum number of sides you can specify 3, and the maximum number of sides you can specify 1024 for polygon in AutoCAD. So let me specify 3, enter, and let specify this as a center, then inscribed and circumscribed. Okay, then you specify the radius. So let's specify the radius, the circle. Okay, and then same you can specify with inscribe. You have specified with inscribe, and you can specify with circumscribed as well. So number of side is same. Center I will place this as the same center, and here I will make circumscribe. So I will specify the same radius value. So what is the difference between inscribe and circumscribe? If you create with the same everything and create inscribe and circumscribe, you will get the better sorry bigger sides. Okay, the side length of each polygon will be bigger than inscribed. In circumscribed, for circumscribed, you will get bigger length of your sides. Okay, so for that let's specify the radius of circle, that is 1000. Here you see. Okay, so what happened, this is center radius, this is the center, and what will be the radius? 1000. And this is the inscribed of the circle, and this is the circumscribed. Okay, next let's create ellipse. So we have two different ways to create ellipse, and we have another option, that is to create elliptical arc. So we will look into these three. So first, center. So this center option, we all know that ellipse has two axes, that one is major axis and second is minor axis. So according to the axis value, which one is bigger, that will be major axis, and which is smaller, that will be minor axis. So let's specify this as a center, and then about the next axis I will specify only one endpoint, because I have already specified the center, and if I specify only one endpoint, the other endpoint will be equally half to opposite direction. So I don't have to specify, so only one point will be enough. So specify endpoint. So I will specify with mouse direction and the value. So let's specify with like 550 and enter, and then the next will be like 300, enter. Okay, and now I will go with this axis endpoint, or else what I can do is I can create offset of that. So if I need to make concentric, when I'm creating offset with closed objects, so that will create concentric objects with within a specified distance. And if I'm creating with open objects like this, so that will create parallel. Okay, so let me show you that. Like if I have this line option is there, if I have this line connected from this end to this end, and I need to create parallel, so I'll choose offset, and with this offset I'll provide value like 50 if I provide, and press enter, and then I will select this object and I will specify the direction. So when there is vertical object, you can offset in horizontal direction. Okay, you cannot offset, you cannot create offset, you cannot create vertical objects in the vertical direction. You cannot create offset like that, and you cannot create horizontal object in horizontal direction. You cannot create offset like that. So that thing you have to remember. So vertical object you can place to the right side, and suppose now I have already provided the value, that is 50. Suppose I need to change the value. So that only be possible when dynamic input option is on. So here you see with this crosshair, I'm getting this small window. So there I can change the value. Like if I need to change with 25, so I can press 25 placing the mouse pointer with that direction and press enter, and see I have created with 25. And now if I see place select that again, and it will go with 50 by default, as because I have provided initially. So I can again provide like 25. If I any value you want to change, go with that. Okay, so I'll delete it simply. So this way we have created parallel objects when the objects are open objects, and if we have closed objects, so that we can create concentric. So for that we choose offset, or the command is O enter, and then we provide the value that we provide and enter, and then you select the object and you specify the direction and click on that. Over there you click, and it will create a duplicate object with that specified distance. All right, so that we can create. So or else let me go with this, like suppose I know this positions. If I delete it, okay, for that if I go with this axis end, so for that the first axis, whatever it is, major axis or minor axis, I'm going to define. So for the first axis I have to define two endpoint first. So this endpoint and this endpoint I will define the first, and then I will define the next. So what will be the next? That will be only one endpoint of the next axis, because it has taken the center point, it has calculated the center point, so I can only specify the next endpoint of that axis. So that will be like this direction 250 I can provide and press enter. Okay, all right. Now what I can do is I can create lines over there. I can create lines, and I can make some points over there, or else I can go with this elliptical arc. So elliptical arc by default has this axis endpoint option. So the same way you can create with this to either choose center or axis end. So center option is very useful. So only one endpoint you specify. So you go with this center. So usually you can specify the center. This is the center point, and then you can define this like 130 in this direction, 130, and in this direction you specify the other endpoint, so that you define like 400, enter. Okay, and then what will be the start angle? So let me specify this will be the start angle, click over there, and what will be the end angle? So there you click. Okay, as because this ortho mode is on, so that's why the crosshair is only restricted to this 0 and 90, 180 and 270. So you can off this ortho mode and you can get in any angle, you can end in any angle. Okay, so I need to end it ortho mode with this ortho mode at 90. Okay, so next again I'm going to show you with elliptical arc. So the by default is axis endpoint. So if you have the first axis 2 points, if you have, so you can go with this axis endpoint. So right now I'm going with this center. So for that I'm clicking on this center option. So that will be the center, and then you specify the axis first endpoint only. Okay, your first axis one endpoint only, and you can specify with 200, you can specify, and then you specify 150, enter, and what will be the start angle? So this will be the start angle and this will be the end angle. Okay, so now suppose I need these over there also. So for that, okay. So let me do with this mirror. If I need at this direction, so I'll go with this mirror option. So this is the object. This will be the mirror axis so that I get the reflection at the right side. So I can define this as a axis. So for that I can go with any first point on this axis line. So I can choose this as a axis first point, and the second point I can define this point. And if you want to erase this source object, the first source object you have selected, if you want to erase this, so you can erase this so that you will get only the reflection. And if you select no, so that then you will create a duplicate object with mirror. So right now I'm going with yes. Okay, now I can go with this rotate option. I can select these two, then object selection is done. I'll press enter. Then what will be the base point? So the midpoint will be the base. So I need to rotate in this direction, but I want to make with a copy. So for that, before specifying the rotation angle, I can go with this copy within this rotation. See, this copy option is available. Copy. Now I can provide the rotation angle, and the duplicate object will be rotate. So 180 is the angle, and press enter. Here you see, right? Now what we can do, I'm deleting this object. Now I can extend this line. So for that I will not create the line again, I will just extend this line. So for that we have this option extend. You select it and it will be extended up to the closest point, closest boundary. So this is right now. Again you can click, again you click, so it will extend up to this. Again you click, it will extend up to this. Okay, and suppose you need to trim this part, you need to trim that part. So for that you can go with this shift. If you hold, you are right now in this extend, and if you hold the shift key, so you can trim it within this extend option. But you can also go with this trim option like that. So tr is the command, or else you can go with this icon also. So tr is the command, and here you click on this and it will be trimmed. Okay, now suppose I need at this corner, I need some curves. So what I can do, I can go with this fillet, or else I can go with this tangent radius. So this two object will be tangent radius, so that I can do. Or else I have this fillet option. So fillet option for create smooth corner. So for that I'll choose fillet, and I will go with this radius. So default this way we go. So fillet radius will provide like 25. I'll provide. Okay, and then what do? We select the first object and then we select the second object. And now see, it is trimming all the other parts except this. So from within this line, this corner is right now getting this 25 radius curve. Okay, suppose I don't need to trim the other parts. So for that what I can do, I will go with this fillet option, and within this trim I have to select this no trim option, so it will not be trimmed. And I need to create fillet multiple times with the same radius value. So for that I'll choose multiple, and then I can specify the radius, or you can specify the radius first and then you can go with this multiple, and then you select the first object and second object. Again, this is the first object, second object. first object and second object, then first object and second object. Okay, now you can trim it. Go with this trim and here you trim it. Okay. So this way we can create. Suppose here you need to create this curve. Suppose we wanted to create with angle. Okay, so for that you can create with chamfer. So we have this chamfer option. So for that we can provide the distance. If we know the distance from this corner, how much up to this and how much up to this, so you can provide with the distance. So go this distance chamfer, first chamfer distance, so that you can create with 50 or the 25, that is the same. So I'm going with bigger distance 50, and the second chamfer distance will be the same. So from the corner it will take the first chamfer distance this direction and the second chamfer distance this direction. So let me select the first line. On this first line the first chamfer distance will be applied, and this is the second. See, it is trimming again. So the same thing you have to do, that go with this trim option, select this no trim, go to distance, provide the first chamfer distance, second chamfer distance, and go for multiple. Then first, then second, go with this first object, and then this is the second object. Go with this first object and second object. This is the first object and this is the second object. Okay, and suppose you have the distance and angle. So what will be the first chamfer length, so that you can provide like 50, and then the angle that you are providing 45. Okay, and you check with the trim option, that is selected as no trim, and go with this multiple, and then you select first chamfer distance, then second, first chamfer distance and second, first and second, first and second. Okay, so from this point to this point you can measure, that is your 50. Okay, go with the precision so that you select the right point. So you see this is the chamfer length, and now you can go for this trim option and trim it. Okay, that you can do. And we also have some other options, so that we will discover in the next class. Okay, and I have given you that drawing, that batch in WhatsApp, and that will be the task. You have to create that. Okay, and I have faced one problem, and I'll remember that. I'll definitely solve it. Probably tomorrow I'll show that.